You're really going to have to think about your questionnaire because they're not going to know him. Okay.
Yes, and focus on the, I can say the main points that I can elevate in the speech.
I just think like personality, lifestyle, and books is very generic too. That's the thing. I mean, what was it about his personality? Was there one thing? Were there many things? I don't, you don't have to explain it right now, but think about that because you just have because of his personality. Okay. Marcia was a mean teacher because of the way she ran class. Right? I was not a mean teacher because of the way I ran class. I was a good teacher in many aspects, but I was mean in others. You see what I mean? I don't think his whole personality was eccentric. I think he had. So what if maybe you focused on 3 aspects of his personality or 3 aspects of his lifestyle?
Always more specific.
You see what I mean? Because to say his whole personality was eccentric, I'm not sure. Maybe it was. Maybe it was. It's an option. I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying you have to. Just think of it as an option that you have. Okay? Now, don't think about it too much because right now you'll drive yourself into a corner and you won't want to get out of there. Okay? But as you research, say, could I maybe focus on one of these aspects? Right? Now, your former idea was the 3 most eccentric books of the Marquis de Sade are this, this, and this. That I thought was too general, and we were just kind of picking 3 books to work with. And that's why I said no to that. I like the second one better. But I still think you can take it down another notch. But if you do it like this, I would say, okay, all right.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
I'd say, all right, good. And I just now in Facebook, I'm seeing that some of you must have sent me yours after I finished. Because I'm seeing some here that I hadn't seen before. So yeah, I didn't get to some of them. And
what we have to send, teacher?
Pardon, hon?
What we have to send to you?
What do you have to send? $100,000 and your firstborn child. How's that? Right now, you don't have to send anything. I mean, if you sent and I said okay, very quickly. Let's just look at these very, very quickly because I don't want to spend a lot of time. Okay, Daniela, why are you sending? Well, you can send them to me. I haven't seen it yet. Daniela, I haven't seen yours yet. So I hadn't seen yours either. Gosh, I felt like yesterday all I did was answer Facebook, but I think it was because those who sent earlier, we were going back and forth with them. So I feel like I spent all afternoon on Facebook.
Okay. I was expecting for the feedback, but I didn't receive it.
No. Well, here it says you sent it to me at almost 10:30. People, I do sleep. I'm not a night-crawling creature like many people believe I am. Well, sometimes I am. I was awake. I was awake. I went to bed at about 11, but I was working on something else that I've got to finish up here. So no, I haven't seen those of you that sent to me at 10:30 at night. I have not seen them yet. Okay. The 23rd. The 23rd. The 23rd. Why didn't I see these? You sent them on the 23rd. Oh, because we talked about them yesterday, didn't we? That's why I didn't give you back feedback on this, because we had talked about it. Because this wasn't yesterday, this was the day before that you sent it, right? Uh-huh. Because, for example, Daniela sent me the information about pulque, but we had talked about pulque in class yesterday.
Well, we didn't talk about my topic yesterday. We did it before the day before yesterday. I think so. It was on Wednesday.
Oh, we
It
did
was
it the day before? It wasn't yesterday?
no.
Okay. All right.
It was on Wednesday, and I didn't give you my 3 main points,
Mm-hmm.
and I posted on Tuesday at night.
Right. Tuesday.
No,
Wednesday. No, Wednesday.
posted on Wednesday at night. Yes,
Wednesday. Yeah, yeah,
Wednesday.
yeah. Yeah, I thought it was yesterday. I thought it was last night. I'm going, yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, okay. I thought we had talked about them in class in depth. That's probably why I didn't look at them. Let's look at them quickly. All right. Sochi, to inform my audience of the main conspiracy theories. The main conspiracy theories related to the royal family are pregnancy, new royal wedding, and awareness of sex crimes. Wow. I didn't know these. I thought it was just because she wanted a divorce and she wanted to talk about the secrets of the royal family, and that's why they killed her. Now, be careful. They're very general. Again, for example, the conspiracy theories are pregnancy. Is the conspiracy theory pregnancy? Or is the conspiracy theory that she was pregnant with Dodi Fayed's son? Was she the one that was supposedly pregnant?
Yes.
Okay. So the conspiracy theory would be that she was pregnant with Dodi Fayed's son. Who was the new royal wedding? Who was getting married?
Charles.
Oh, because he wanted to get married to Camilla.
Camila.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
All right. So the main conspiracy theory is Prince Charles being rewed. So we know who the royal wedding you're talking about. And Princess Diana's death are, you'd have to work on that last one, awareness of sex crimes within the palace, to make it also more specific as you did the first ones. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, try it. Try it. I'm worried that time is going to be your enemy here, and that you may not get as much done as you wanted to in the time period that you have. But see what kind of information you get.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Pulque. Did we talk about this, Daniela? She's not here.
Yeah, only about
Oh,
the specific purpose, but about
right.
the central idea, no, I don't think so.
All right. What did we say in class about the specific purpose?
About what would be better to write in the specific purpose, only in pre-Hispanic period that you said that you already thought about it.
Okay. I don't remember. I don't remember what we said about it at all. Okay, I do remember talking about it. I remember talking about it, but I don't remember what we said. Okay, so to inform my audience about pulque as a ritual. For example, in the specific purpose, you have pulque as a ritual in prehispanic period. And then in the central idea, you don't just have ritual, you have feasting and ritual. Remember, in the specific purpose, it should be bigger. For example, in Xochitl, hers was conspiracy theories. And then in the central idea, it was this, this, and this. But none of those three things are conspiracy theories. I mean, they are, but they don't say conspiracy theories. So for example, if you say to inform my audience about pulque as a ritual in Hispanic Mexico, okay, not just Hispanic period, but because many countries had Hispanic periods in Hispanic Mexico, pre-Hispanic Mexico. You need your points in your central idea need to be rituals that pulque was used in. Do you know of specific rituals that pulque was used?
Yes, yesterday I was Google it, and I think are 3.
Okay. Well, I think not so much the my question is not what rituals they were used in though. My question about pulque is why pulque? Why was it used?
Yeah.
Okay. So you could say to inform my audience about pulque as a ritual, the wording is strange, but as a ritual in pre-Hispanic Mexico. And then your central idea would say, like basically why pulque was used, the 3 reasons pulque was used.
Okay. Yeah, teacher. I know.
All right. You get that idea?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be easier to find information about why pulque is this ritual drink and not so much the different
Information
rituals.
about rituals.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right. All right.
Thank you, teacher.
All right. Very welcome. Better to inform my audience about 3 techniques to learn vocabulary. Okay, we had talked about this, Bere, right? Using
Yes,
subtitles. Teacher. Yeah. Okay. So you're okay? You don't have any questions right now?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Good. Yeah, we had talked about this. Mandela effect. I thought I had commented on this. Maybe I did. Nicole, did I comment on yours? Is she here? Oh, she's not here. Okay. I think I commented. I think she put it again or something, and I said, yes, go right ahead. Okay, Nati, we had talked about that. And then here with Ismail is where we started the thing. All right. So those of you who sent it to me after it, I have not seen them yet. Okay. And I think most of you that we were working with yesterday, you're okay now. There's only a couple of you still that have not gotten your topic. All right. So we'll leave that for now, and I'll get to these later on today, because right now we would take up the entire class if we did it. All right. So what I'm going to do is put you back in your breakout rooms, and you're going to continue with your group, working now to support your main points. Ideally, when you finish today, you will have an outline of this topic that you're working with. Okay. You may not have the exact outline yet today, but that would be a really great thing to have. But at least I want to see that you are supporting the points, what kind of information you're giving for each point that you have. I want to see your creativity in supporting your points, not just examples, not just statistics, not just testimony, but rather a combination of these, right? And sometimes it doesn't have to be testimony from an expert. It can be testimony from a friend. It can be testimony from someone who experienced it. All of these things are going to be useful. I want to tell you a quick story. Last Saturday, remember the questionnaire that I put up on Facultad de Lenguas? That I asked all the students to do if they did that question. Did anyone answer the questionnaire?
Yeah.
All right, some of you did. Did the questionnaire look familiar? Not so much?
Yes.
Right? It was the exact same kind of questions that I'm having you prepare for your questionnaire here. That questionnaire was for a course that I'm taking in the master's program. So when you start working with projects and your thesis and other kinds of research, this use of questionnaire is going to be very important, and you're going to already have an idea of how to do it and what to do with it. So we do want to really focus on what your questionnaire says and what kind of information you're getting from your questionnaire. Now, when you use your questionnaire, remember, it's like I said to Ismael just a few minutes ago. First of all, you have to think about your audience. Will my audience know this topic? My first question is going to tell me that. But what if they say no? If they say no, and all of my other questions are based on what they know about this, my questionnaire is useless. It doesn't give me any information. So, for example, if you have a topic that you suspect your audience doesn't know a lot about, the first question will find that information out. Other questions will get information from them about the topic without them having to know specifically the topic itself. Okay? For example, I don't know if all of you heard, when we were talking, Ismael and I asked how many people knew who the Marquis de Sade was, and only one person raised her hand. So his first question is going to be, do you know who's that? Who's La Morra?
Oh, it's because our Ismael sent me a message asking me what was talking about because he was having some problems and just answered them, but I answered in the general chat. But it was Daniela. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to be more respectful because el tema de la morra is not a respectful term
Yeah,
for
sorry about
anyone in this class. All right. I know you didn't mean for all of us to see it, but we did. So please. All right. Now I completely lost it. If we ask who he was, you're going to say you don't know. So if he asks you about his personality, you don't know because you don't know him. If he asks you about his books, you don't know because you don't know him. You see what I mean? If he asks you information just about this person, if you don't know him, you don't know any of the answers. However, if he compares it to other things, other people, maybe he doesn't ask you about his books, but he asks you about a book that's similar or a book that's opposite. He's going to get more information. It's good to talk about something that your audience doesn't know. It's very good to talk about something that your audience doesn't know. So Ismael, for example, you're going to be teaching them, hopefully, something new. All right? But we just have to be careful how we work with the questionnaire, because if they don't know, they don't know. And so you want to get as much information from them as you can from other things they know that you can associate to the topic. Okay. All right. So let me put you in your groups right now. I'm going to be asking you, it's going to take a little bit of time. Now there's 23 of you today. Who's here today that wasn't here yesterday? Well, let's see. I'm going to put you back into, I'm going to put you in 8 rooms. Okay, manually. Let's create the rooms. Who was in number 1? Who was in room number 1?
Nicole,
Nicole.
Guadalupe,
All right. Nicole's not here. Guadalupe and who
Ismael.
else? Ismael.
Me.
All right. Great. All right. You're in room 1 then. Who was in room 2?
Ashley, Nora, and me, Sophia.
Ashley, Sophia, and Nora. Ready. Who was in number 3? Daniela. Who else? Who was with you, Daniela?
It was me and Alex.
Alejandro
Oh,
and
the 2. Yeah. Alejandro and Alex. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Who was in 4?
Me and Miguel Pliego.
Maria Jose and Miguel. It was just the 2 of you, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Put you back in there. Who was in number 5?
Fernanda, Ariadna, y yo, Xochitl. And me, Xochitl.
Okay. Great. There you are. Number 6.
Me,
Who's
Bere,
me?
and Javier.
Javier. Javier.
Yeah, I'm here. Bere
Bere.
and Nate.
Nati. Okay. Great. Who was in number 7?
I think it was me, Chris, and
Belen and Eduardo, right?
yeah, Belen, yeah.
Belen and Eduardo. Teresa, were you not here yesterday? Teresa?
No, teacher, I didn't come yesterday.
Okay. Then I'm going to put the rest of you in number 8. Okay. All right. Here we go. We're going to open up the rooms. Okay. All right.
Talk about is to 3 ways to beat procrastination, but the teacher says that It's a topic speech, so I have to change it.
I said it's a tip speech.
Mhm.
You're giving tips for procrastination. Your topic here is why do we remember all the things we forgot to do once we are in bed? Can you see the chat?
No yet.
No.
Do you see my message there?
Yes.
Okay, that's your topic for this exercise. The other group started yesterday. Okay, so you're really going to have to rush to get up. Specific purpose, central idea, and supporting information for this topic. All right?
Teacher,
What?
I have a question about
Uh-huh.
my topic because
Not now, not now. This is for this exercise. The topic questions, I will get to them this afternoon on Facebook because we can't spend any more class time on them. All right?
yes.
This is for this topic right now. Here's your topic, specific purpose, central idea, main points, and the support for your main points. Okay? I'll be back in a minute.
That is why I found.
Okay.
So I will check your
Let me-
information now.
Yes, I'm going to check your information.
You should have
Hi,
sent her the
teacher.
information. Hi there. You should have sent her the information yesterday so she could read it. And you could save yourself some time. Or did you just find it now?
Now we look for information yesterday.
Uh-huh.
But we are sharing what we
We are
found.
not. We are sharing.
I know you're sharing.
On
You should have
one.
shared.
Yeah.
You should have shared yesterday so that you can come in and say, "Okay, we got this. We got this. We got this. Go, go, go." All right.
Okay.
Are you finding good information about the topic?
Yes.
All right. Are you finding varied information about the topic? Are you finding articles? Are you finding testimony? Are you finding all kinds of examples? Statistics you're not going to find, I don't think.
Pages.
Yeah.
Yes, teacher. We
Yeah.
have. Well, we are going to take the Hachi movie as an example.
As an example,
of
yeah.
As an example.
Right.
And a testimony of a famous trainer of dogs, Cesar Millan, about
Okay.
how to live your life in the moment. He gave an example about how dogs live in the moment.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. This is a topic.
And the last one is loyalty. Sorry.
Not the last one. Your second topic
I
is
was gonna say
loyalty, right?
that in the. Yes. But the one that that was missing, that is loyalty. That is.
Okay.
But she is searching us her.
Ismail, you having trouble with your internet still?
Yes, a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I just all of a sudden saw you go like you're gonna break out of your body there. Okay. Be careful though, because for example, you have Hachi for loyalty, right?
Yes.
No, unconditional love.
Unconditional love. I'm sorry.
That would be better in loyalty.
He went to that station every day for the next how many years. That I think that's loyalty. I think that's loyalty. I understand how it crosses over. It's not just loyalty. It's not just unconditional love. It's a combination of both of them. So why not? What's your first topic? Unconditional love. Your first point? Unconditional love. So the last thing you talk about in unconditional love is Hachi. And then you use the transition from Hachi into loyalty because he's both of them. Okay?
Yes.
So the last thing you talk about
in
in unconditional love is Hachi, and then you use him to transition into loyalty. For example, if you tell a little bit about his story in unconditional love, and then you say, as we can see, Hachi did not only have unconditional love for his, I don't know, master, owner, human, but he also was an example of loyalty. And you go right into your next point of loyalty using him. How does that sound? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you have Hachi for one, you have Cesar Milan for another, but I think you still need more. I mean, we need to really support the points, right? Your topic is a good one for supporting because you can use stories from others, you can use examples, you can use anecdotes. So have any of your classmates, this is something, if you were giving a questionnaire, you would want to ask them if they ever had an example where their dog showed unconditional love or loyalty or lived life in the moment. And they could tell you their stories and you could use some of them in class. You can use your own stories about your experiences with your dogs. You can talk to them about things that dogs do. You know, if you give a dog grass, what will the dog do? The dog will flop down on that grass and start scooching around in it there, right? Because grass just makes them so happy. Does grass make you happy?
Sorry?
Sure. Does grass make you happy? The faces that your internet is making, I can't wait till you see the recording of this. Does grass make you happy? Grass.
Yes. Grass? Yes.
Okay, yeah, but here, you go. Yeah. A dog sees grass and goes,
It's heaven.
grass, right? So you, even in your support, you may want to use video, very, 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 very short video. You may want to use pictures, right? But your support does not have to be based as much on specialists and researchers as your classmates. A lot of your research is based on people's personal experiences, anecdotes, stories, okay? This loyalty, this unconditional love, we can see it when there's two dogs, stray dogs, and one of them is killed by a car, and the other one will not leave the dog's body. Even though the other dog is dead, they have that loyalty and that unconditional love. They won't leave the body. There's a video of a man who's being taken to the hospital, but his dog won't let the paramedics touch him because that dog is so loyal to his human. So you have a lot of experiences. You can find lots of stories. You can find examples even from your own audience. Don't just stick with one for each point, but find several for each point so that you can mix them and use them around. This exercise is about how to support your main points. Okay, so really find information that supports your main points.
Yes.
Okay.
Teacher, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
What you want, that we do is the outline of this topic?
Ideally, you will have the outline. But the outline is basically the main point
Yes.
and how you're going to support it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So that's what you have to do right now. For each point, what will you use to support it? That's what I want right now. How will you support each point?
Oh, yes.
Okay? If you have time to give me an outline, that's great. If we don't have time, I would like you to do an outline so that you have the exercise. So when you give me your outline for your second speech, you have the experience of having done it. Okay? But right now with Guadalupe, while the two of you are together, organize how you would support each speech. Don't just use one thing to support the point. Use several things together.
Okay, teacher.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
great. I'm going to visit another room and I'll be back then.
Yes.
Pet. Hey, there's only two of you? Who else was in here with you?
Sophia, but I think she's because we were talking and for
There she
moments
is. Yeah.
it was just
Yeah,
freeze.
there she is. She's back in. Thank you. Thank you. I think everybody's having a
Sorry.
problem with their internet today. I see a lot of you freezing up and the audio is going out. So let's see how things go. All right. Your topic was the male brain versus the female brain.
Yes.
All right. How is that going? What's your central idea?
Our central idea is the difference between the male brain and female brain are the size, the brain chemistry, and the health impacts.
What was the last one?
Health impacts. Impact.
What does that mean?
That don't have the same illness in the brain. The women are more have different illness, brain illness, and the men have other one.
Okay. Because health impact, we don't want that structure. We don't want that structure. Impact on their health makes you think that the brain has something to do with the health of their body. But you're talking about their brain health, right? Okay.
Yes.
Why not say, I mean, on illnesses that affect the brain? Illnesses that affect the brain, not mental illnesses, right? You're not talking about mental illnesses like schizophrenia and no. You're talking
No.
about like aneurysms and brain clots and
Yes.
okay. Illnesses that affect the brain would be your last point then. Okay. Now, your first point is size. How are you going to support that point?
Well, yesterday we found like it's a blog of Oxford University when put some question, the Stanford medicine, and someone asked if the size of the brain measures the intelligence, and a doctor posted that no, the size doesn't matter.
It does matter?
Yeah, it does matter.
Okay.
And it's what we want to use for support our point.
Okay. Because if your point is just size, your support is the information on size, right? Whose brain is bigger, the woman's?
No, the man.
Men's brain is bigger. So men are smarter?
No.
So a smaller brain is smarter.
Um,
Which one is smarter? You said you have research.
yeah. Well,
Which is
the
smarter?
size of the brain,
Uh-huh.
it doesn't matter the
Oh,
size.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
I said it does matter, and you said yes, it does matter. Okay, so the size of the brain doesn't matter
yeah.
based on intelligence. So really, the only information that you have for your first point is the measurements. If you say the size and this, and then you say the size of a man's brain is this, and the size of a woman's brain is this. You see what I mean? For the other 2 points, hormones and what was the last one? I just forgot it. Oh, the illnesses.
Illnesses.
You're going to have more information on those. But for size, all you have is the size. Let's take a look at the first point again. Could we say size in relation to intelligence?
Yeah.
Okay. Still, it's going to be a very short point.
Yeah.
But make sure one of the things, our main points should be balanced as much as we can. So we don't want one point that has very little information, the next point's got a lot of information, and then the last point only has this much information. We want all of our points to look about the same in support, in size, in time. Okay. And I think the first one's going to be a little shorter, but I don't know what information you have exactly. So maybe you have more information that supports it. But I think you want to look at size compared to other things, right? If size indicates intelligence, if size indicates pain resistance, if size indicates creativity, for example. So I think it's a size ratio. Okay. All right. But I think it sounds interesting. It sounds very interesting. Just check that first point, get all of your information together, organize your points with the supporting information, and hopefully you'll have time to work an outline today. Okay. Questions?
No. Well,
okay.
No, not yet.
All right. All right. I'll be back then.
Okay.
Back. Like
Thank
the
you.
Terminator. I'll be back. How are we doing here?
We're having some problems, teacher,
Yeah?
with our classmate. I think his internet is failing. Alejandro.
Yeah, he was dealing with internet.
I see
Yeah.
him here. He's here with us.
Yeah.
He's here, but he can't hear us, can he?
Yeah, he's having some difficulties.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's okay. In the meantime, the two of you can work it out, and hopefully later on, I don't know if everyone is having problems with their internet today, or what the deal is. Ismael is also having problems. Sophia was having problems in the other group. It was kicking her out. So I think a lot of people are having problems with internet today. All right. In the meantime, the two of you can work it out. You're working with the fun house plans.
Yeah.
How is that going? What have you found? How are you? What are your points? Do you have your main points?
Yeah, oh, no. There you go.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we have 3 main points that we are going to talk about: the carnivorous plants, succulents, and Mimosa pudica are the 3 types of plants that we talk about.
All right. And what are you thinking about talking about for each one?
Carnivorous plants that helps to eliminate bugs, succulents, and that there are a lot of, yeah.
Yeah, it's just eliminating bugs is not fun. You know what I mean? These are fun plants. Okay.
Yeah, I think we were gonna talk about more like what they do and well, kind of like their function inside of your home.
Right,
Well,
but making them fun, you know what I mean? Now, I think a lot
yeah,
of the fun is going to come from the way you explain it, from your visual aids. Okay.
Mm.
What's fun about a carnivorous plant, a Venus flytrap? Be careful too. They're in Spanish, they're carnivorous plants. In English, they're flytraps.
fly traps, yeah,
Flytraps.
Venus fly traps.
Venus flytrap, exactly. Okay.
Yeah, and I also, well, yesterday that I was investigating, I saw that there's not like only one type of I mean, those type of plants. They're various. I think there's one called like the monkey trap or something like that.
Ooh, how fun! What a fun name, a monkey trap.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. And have you ever watched one of them eat the bug?
the carnivorous plant. Well, the Venus flytrap. There was one that was in Los Angeles. I got the opportunity to see one. One of my friends invited me to his home, and he told me, "Hey, you want to see something crazy?" And I was like, "Crazy in what aspect?" And he told me, "Oh, I have some funny plans. I have some funny plans that I mean that you maybe have never seen." Okay, so he took me to his room, and I saw one of his Venus fly eaters.
This is getting strange here. Okay. Yes.
His parents were there.
Okay. And he had a fly trap. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he had a kind of like about 10 to 15 Venus fly
Wow.
traps. Yeah, and he just put his finger in one of the mouth in one of the plants, and closely, it was just hitting his hand, and I was like, "Oh my God, what is that?" It has my it's
Yeah, that's psychic there. I mean,
yeah.
um, I think my mother, it was the novelty when my mother brought a fly trap home, and she's like, now you have to feed it. I'm like thinking, what in the world? How the heck do you feed a plant? She would make like ground beef. She would fry up ground beef and let it cool, and then put pieces of ground beef in its mouth and let it, if there weren't a lot of flies that it was catching, you had to feed it other things. I'm like, what is this? This is something out of a science fiction movie here.
It was kind of
Right?
like Stephen King's story.
Right. Right? It's like from Creepshow, the
Yeah.
meteorite that comes down and makes all the plants grow. So this is what you need to remember, that your topic is fun house plants for your home. So when you describe what they do, you've got to emphasize the fun part of it. Okay. For example, the succulents are wonderful. I love them. My mother-in-law, I made her a fairy garden, which is basically little fairy houses with little fairy benches, and succulents are perfect plants for that because they're so small. It looks like a little fairy garden there. So succulents are great fun. What they're used for, use pictures of them. Okay, you're going to need to use a lot of visual aids with this kind of thing. But when you get your main points, when you support your main points, focus on the fun aspect of it. Okay? All right. What's the last plant?
Mimosa pudica.
Is that the one with the pink? No.
No.
What's that one?
I don't remember.
Okay. But it sounds fun. It sounds like a drink.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Are the ones that when you put your hands or your fingers on them,
Uh-huh.
it closes slowly.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
And
And
also
how can you, I mean, it's fun itself, but how can you make it more fun? This is what's, right? What can you do with them? How can you use them for fun? Like Alex said with the fly traps, You know, you can invite your friends over and have them stick their fingers in it.
Yeah.
With the succulents, you can use them. How can you make this one fun? How can you make it interesting? Right?
Yeah, okay.
You've got a fun topic. I mean, you can do a lot with it. Don't take it too seriously. Because if you start giving like the scientific description and characteristics, no. Fun plans, why we need those in our houses. Okay? All right, good. Work on supporting your points. Get all the support you can together. Use visual aids, especially in your case. Examples, things to do with your house plants. Stories. Okay?
Sure.
All right, I'll be back in a minute.
Like, excellent.
Thanks.
Hey, sorry I took so long to get here.
No, it's okay. We were writing, or well, we were finishing to get our sources, and we have this already. I hope the app doesn't crash again because it's been crashing.
Okay.
Okay. It's this.
That's a really
We have
cool app,
this
I gotta tell
and
you.
the support. Things. We have just this.
Okay, you
And
are
we have
talking
to
about
make the
how to look smarter than you are. Okay.
yeah. We tried to find some testimony, but there is not much on the internet. So we were thinking about writing one of real life or something, just from someone we know.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we cite those people?
Someone that you know?
Yeah.
You would just mention who they are in the, I mean, you wouldn't have to cite them, just put their names here in the,
okay.
Like someone from class or someone from school or something, you would just choose their names because they've not published anything about it.
No.
Okay.
And we have to make we have to start with this format, right?
Right. Most of us, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, format there.
This one I just took it from the book, so
That one right there.
Yeah, it's not about our topic yet.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
book one. Yeah.
Okay, exactly. That's the kind of format that you're going to follow.
Okay. How much time do we have to finish this?
We're probably going to take until the end of class for this because I'm only halfway through the groups. Okay.
Okay.
So it's 8 o'clock now. We'll probably take until at least 8:40.
Okay.
All right. So you have time to work on it. If you finish it today, you finish it during class here, put it up on Facebook so that we can see it.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, sure.
All right.
Thanks.
Anything else before I go?
Miguel, you want to ask something?
Well, I was wondering about the one that you write about the tone of the control voice, if we can divide it into subtopics, which the ones that we wrote.
One of your points is controlled voice, and you want to divide it into subtopics?
Yeah, and the piece, pitch, the pause, and what was the other? I don't remember.
I will send it in the chat.
Yes,
again.
Yes, definitely. You would be able to use the subtopics below it. You have one topic, controlled voice. And in there, you may have different subtopics. You would support each subtopic as it came along. First, you would support pitch, for example, and then pace, and then, all right? Because these are all the elements of controlled voice.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, but yeah, these would be, your main topic would be controlled voice, and then you would have your subtopics. So you have power, pace, pitch, pause. I like that. Prosody. Yeah, that's easy to remember.
Yeah.
And all of them can be supported by one person.
No, well, you have a description of each of them. If time would allow you, I think you should give an example of each one. For example, who do you consider to be a smart person? When they speak, you say, this person is really smart.
Famous person?
You?
Someone your classmates. Extra point here today for. Thank you. Someone your classmates would know. Someone your classmates would know. You'll notice on Facebook, I have a picture at the top of Barack Obama. I don't have a picture of Barack Obama because he's a politician. I have a picture of him because he's a strong speaker, a very strong speaker. I enjoy listening to him when he speaks. Okay.
I also think that his wife.
Yes, she's also that, and she's not as much of a politician as he is. She's also a very strong speaker. Yes. Okay. And so you may use him, for example, for power. For power, he doesn't yell, but he's got a strong tone in his voice. He's really, when he speaks, you listen. You listen. Donald Trump doesn't have that same power. He just tries to make himself heard over everyone else. But in my opinion, Barack Obama has that power. So you could just use the example of Barack Obama if your class has heard him speak. Or you can show a very, 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 very short clip of him speaking and an example of that power. All right. For example, pitch, you could use, you don't always have to use a positive example. You can use a negative example. I had a friend when I first came to live permanently in Mexico. Her name was Sofia San Millán. And my husband heard, me talking about her, Sofia San Millán, and he imagined this, she was from Spain. So he imagined this Spanish woman with this deep Spanish voice. And when he finally met her, she's like, oh, ¿cómo estás? And my husband's like, right? And so even though somebody knows a lot, when they have a voice that's very shrill in pitch and high pitched, people don't believe them. In the Big Bang Theory, you watch the Big Bang Theory?
No.
Yes.
Bernadette, right? She's very smart. She's super smart, but her voice,
It's like,
it doesn't make us think that she's smart. And the funny thing is, I think she wears the glasses to make her look smarter. But her voice, she's super smart, but her voice does not transmit that. Okay? So even somebody might not be as smart, but their voice, the way they project it, is going to show them. So you can get these kind of examples. Ask on your questionnaire if they've ever seen the Big Bang Theory. So you can use the example. Okay?
That's a great example because
Yeah.
she does look, well, she does make it seem like she's not so smart.
Right, when she actually is. So you don't always have to use positive examples. You can use negative examples to exemplify it. All right, so you have the definition for each one. Give an example for each one so that your audience understands what it is you're talking about there. All right?
Yes.
All right, great. Sounds interesting. I'll be back then in a minute.
Thanks.
Sure.
Lyrics, melody, came to
All right, how are you doing here? You have the meaning behind nursery rhymes. What's your central idea? I love that. She got so excited. She's like, let me tell you. That's wonderful when you're that excited about your topic.
Our
right.
central idea is the creepiest nursery rhymes that have hidden meaning are London Bridge is falling down, Mary, Mary, quite contrary, and Ring around the roses.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. So you're finding you have information now to support them?
Yes.
Right. Great. You're supporting them, I imagine, with the historical stories behind them, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good. Have you found images that represent the song? Like for example, Ring Around the Rosie. You have a group of children holding hands, dancing in a circle, but then compare it to a picture of people dying from the plague or something.
Yes.
Ring Around the Rosie was a plague, yeah. So like people dying from the plague and these big blotches that they have on them. So compare like what we think the nursery rhyme is and what it actually is. Okay. Mary quite contrary. Who was that? I remember it, but
Blood Mary, the queen.
Bloody Mary, and the garden was like
Yes.
the bodies that she would put there or something. Okay. So we have Mary, Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow? You have a picture of a little girl watering her garden, all innocent, and then you have this picture of Bloody Mary with her sword and her guillotine and executing people. Okay. Because you only have one support. You have the explanation, right? You're not looking for examples. You're not looking for testimony. You're not looking for anything like that. You're giving the hidden meaning. That's your point. So you want to complement it with something else so it's not the same all the time. Okay? And the visual aids would help you there. All right. Do you like your topic?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. I do too. I do too. Any questions before I go?
No.
All right. All right. Great job. I'll be back then in a minute.
Oh my.
Oh, probably it's not common.
Wow. That was a buzz. How are you doing? Do you have things men shouldn't wear? All right. Skinny jeans, sneakers with suits, and what was the third one now?
Socks with sandals.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Good. Very good. What kind of support are you using? Your topic really lends itself to different types of support. You can get all kinds of support. Have you looked in fashion magazines? What the experts say you should and shouldn't wear?
Yeah, a little.
No.
Or fashion blogs, maybe not magazines, but fashion blogs, like what expert fashionistas say about men wearing skinny jeans or men wearing socks with sandals, right? You can look for that expert testimony. Do any of you have an opinion about them, or your family or your friends have an opinion about men wearing skinny jeans or sneakers with suits or socks with sandals?
Yeah, we are using that for support. Suit with the sneakers. I asked my mother, my grandmother, and my brother.
All right.
And they don't agree with that. And also the third one, shorts, sandals with socks. We are thinking about using my experience. Like in Atletico, there are many tourists that wear that and they really seem weird. Even though if the weather is cold.
Right, they're
But they
still
are
using
commonly,
sandals.
yeah, they are old men,
Okay.
not teenagers.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I have seen in Atletico.
Okay. All right. So you could even talk to, your family and friends that live there and at least go about this experience. Pictures, visual aids, because in your case, pictures are going to impact. I'm imagining how stupid this looks But when you actually see it, you're going, wow, that is really stupid. It is really terrible. It looks awful. So you can possibly find expert testimony, expert opinions. You can get opinions from friends, family, classmates,
Cousin.
your cousin, yeah, right? Visual aids, pictures, so that it really impacts us. Now, when you choose the pictures, you're going to find the most ridiculous ones, right? The skinny jeans that really look awful. Those are the ones that you're going to look for. All right. Is there any other support that you thought of that you can use?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, well, in my case, I found out some information in the website.
Uh-huh.
What problem you can have if you decide to use an example, the scheme gyms. The main problem you can have in your life could be testicular problems. And for me, it was interesting.
Oh. Oh, so it's not only fashion problems, but there's actually
Yeah.
health problems related to it. That's fascinating. Yeah. Okay. Another thing that you can use is, first of all, Javier, say skinny jeans.
Yeah.
Say it.
The skinny jeans.
Okay, that was good. That was good. The first time I heard you say it there, it sounded like you said skin jeans, and I'm going, oh, skinny
No,
jeans. Okay, but yeah, you said it good. You said it good.
no, the problem is I am sick for that reason.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Another thing that you can do is kind of give them this idea that the suit with sneakers, all right? If they decide to enter into this fashion and they get married, right, in a suit with sneakers, or they go to a party, or there's going to be pictures. There's going to be pictures. And 20 years from now, they're going to show their children those pictures, and their child is going to go, what were you thinking? Right? So the idea that these fads, they pass. They pass. I'm going to show, let me see if I have it. Let me see if I have it here in my pictures. I'm going to show you one of my pictures from high school. Let me see if I have, I don't know if I have my senior picture. It would have been,
Because an example teacher, we have the second point. Suit with sneaker is a strange combination
suit,
according to woman.
suit.
Suit.
Okay. Now, it's not only according to women, because a suit with sneakers is a generational thing. It's a hipster thing. So, for example, even men, you know what I mean? Men over the age of 40 think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right. Many young men would probably think it was ridiculous. So it's not only a women thing. And I think you need to remember this. It's not women criticizing men, because there are many men, young men would think the sandals with socks was ridiculous, right? Because old men are the ones who normally wear them. Older men would think the suit with sneakers was ridiculous.
In my tongue, the people call nacos when they wear suit with sneakers.
When they wear what?
When they wear suit with sneakers.
A suit with sneakers, exactly. Okay.
I believe it's not inappropriate word, naco.
Yeah. Well, what would that word be in English?
That is the question.
That's what you want to look for next, right there.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my picture. I did find the picture I was thinking of, but my hair is not that bad. All right. I was thinking it was worse. Here, let me open it up and share it with you. My hair is actually not as bad as I thought it was. Okay. But a friend of mine has, remember, I was a teenager in the 1980s. Okay. And if you know anything about the 1980s, we had big hair and we used lots of hairspray and we had, okay. So when we see pictures of ourselves now, we're like, man, that was some awful hair. My picture's not loading. I don't know why. Let me share, see if I can share even just a small one. Nah, my computer's not responding today. Okay. But when you look back and you see those pictures, you're going, what was I thinking? Why did I dress like that? Why was my hair like that? What was going on with this? Here's the, I don't know if you can see it because the picture's still very small here. Yeah, it should be sharing with you now. You see that hair? I look at this picture and I'm
Wow,
going, yeah, look at me. I look
you
at
are a
this
gorgeous
picture and I'm
woman.
going, what was I thinking with that hair? This was my senior picture from high school. We have the tradition of having a senior. This is another, this was the same day. Hold on a second here. This one here.
Teacher, from my point of my view, that is great. You look so beautiful.
It doesn't look so bad, does it? Now
No.
this is my sister's senior picture.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
okay. Okay.
It's a little different, right? She graduated a year before me, 2 years before me. And her hair is very, you know, in the time that's what the style was. She was perfectly in style. The glasses, the tinted glasses. That now she wore glasses all of her life. But those tinted glasses, that was very 80s. She was cooler than cool in this picture. Now we go, oh my God. All right. So sometimes we look back on things and we go, what was I thinking? I think a lot of these fashion skinny jeans, sneakers with suits, I think eventually you're going to look at those pictures and go, what? All right. Now, socks with sandals, those will continue. Those will continue. That's an old man thing, an old tourist man thing. They want to wear sandals, but it's too cold, so they put socks on. I will never understand it. So you have a lot of supports that you can use. And I didn't know about the medical problems that skinny jeans can cause. So that's another thing that you can add there. It's not only aesthetics, it's not only looks, it's also your health. Okay. Are you having fun with your topic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. And this is
So
it.
so.
Remember, when you choose a topic, make it a topic that you can have fun with. Stop being so serious and trying to solve the world's problems, but have a topic that you really enjoy working with and you have fun researching. That's what we want to do. Because if the topic is fun and interesting for you, it's going to be fun and interesting for your audience. And that will help you a lot. Okay. Any questions before I
Teacher,
go? Yeah.
yeah, we were like commenting. Well, we were saying like our general idea is the clothing that men shouldn't use, but then in our main points we are saying that is inappropriate or is a strange combination, and we don't know if we are like going against to the point or we
No,
are like
no, not at all. You're
being so
fine with the
negative.
point. No, you're fine with the point because what's the reason he shouldn't wear this? What's the reason he shouldn't wear this? Because it looks ridiculous, because of the combination, because it doesn't match. So
Okay.
I think you're right on. I think you're right on there. Okay,
Mm.
but be careful. It's things that men shouldn't
Where I just
wear.
where
Yeah.
yeah, why I wrote that.
Habit. That's what it is. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Not yet.
All right. Keep organizing it. Keep organizing it. I'm gonna go visit another room, and I'll be calling you back in about 20 minutes. I'll be calling you back. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Hey there. How is everyone going here?
Hi, Ms. Marshall. Good. Right now, I just barely posted on what we think is the complete version of our work. We have the specific purpose, the central idea. We already came up with an introduction,
We write the introduction
and we
and
also have the body.
we have
have
the
a,
body.
we have
Mm-hmm.
a testimony, and we were gonna go ahead and finish out with the questionnaire.
With the what?
With the
Uh-huh.
questionnaire, my bad.
Again?
Questionnaire.
Uh-huh. What were you going to do with it?
We were gonna go ahead and finish out with the questionnaire. Make a couple of questions to the audience.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Great. Great. How do you feel about your support of your topic? Your topic was naps for college students?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. All right. How do you feel about the supports? Do you feel that you have good supporting information? Do you feel you have a variety of supports?
Yeah, I just want to go ahead and give you it.
Eduardo says no. Chris says yes. Eduardo says no. Yeah. For example, what's your first main point?
Taking naps helps to improve your mood.
Okay, improving your mood. What's your supporting information from that, for that?
We are looking for information on internet, and also Chris wrote a testimony.
Yeah, for the support,
Because
I included the three main
asked.
points. We all three included the three main points, which is improved mood.
Okay, but hold on a second. What are you supporting the first one with? Just tell me that. What are you supporting the first one with? You have testimony from whom?
Oh, it's my testimony of when I went to sleep in the third floor we have in Boab.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the room.
Okay.
That will
Okay. A lot of your audience is going to relate to that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. For that same reason, I made it for that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one support, and
All right.
questionnaire.
A questionnaire is not the support.
Okay.
What's another support for the first point? Because you can't just say it improves your mood and then have Chris tell a story about how it helps him feel better when he sleeps on third floor.
I included a text, but I'm not sure if it does qualify to be mentioned. It's a description about improving our mood. I'm gonna go ahead and read it. Mentally, clarity will boost the individual to improve mood and progressively the communication skills to speak in class. And I consider it the term to be called self-confidence and reapproaching work with a fresh and well-rested mindset. So it can have.
But I didn't hear anything about napping there.
Oh, it's about improving mood. Our first main point.
But but there's nothing about napping in that text. There's nothing about napping improving mood. Okay. In other words, it's about improving mood, but your improving mood is related to napping. You have a better mood because you took a nap. So I didn't hear anything about napping in that. Everything has to be related to the fact that you have a better mood because you napped. You're more creative because you napped. Okay?
Okay.
So what do the experts say about napping and mood enhancement? Did you find anything?
Yeah, Belen found something in the page.
Yeah? Research from somewhere about how napping affects a person?
Yeah, Belen, can you help us, please?
She's looking for it, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a link right here in the chat. If you can click on it, maybe you can. Well, this information we found, but we couldn't post it right there because it's a statistic, so we couldn't post it.
I don't see it here in the chat. Oh. I have a link from Ismael about pets and a link from Maria Jose about.
You really got in the group. Belen, can you help us out posting one more time the link?
I'm trying to post it right here.
Yeah, I wanted to go ahead and add a graph that's included in the link,
here
but
it is.
It didn't let me. Belen mentioned that she wanted to add some quotations on the graph so we can have a little bit more evidence. There's a graph that indicates percentage of syllables recalled, the information that they retain.
Okay, it's not opening. I can't open it here from the chat. Maybe let me try and copy and paste it into the browser. Yeah, I mean, all this kind of expert research testimony can help. Even some things that are maybe not completely serious. For example, there was a character in children's television, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. There's a movie that came out about 2 years ago with Tom Hanks about Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And he would always be like, yeah, sometimes a nap can just do wonders for us. So he's not an expert in napping and the effects that napping has, but he's a well-loved, a well-respected character who tried to teach children good manners and values. And sometimes a good nap is all we need to just wake up with a whole different mindset, you know? So not all of your support has to be, you know, dry medical research or dry psychological research. It can be fun things like that about what people say about napping, because my sister and I have the running joke that, you know, if I start getting angry or something, she'll like, Marcia, do you need a nap? I think you need a nap. So we'll always like kind of stop ourselves when we're upset like that and say, I think someone needs a nap, because we know that a nap just does wonders for it. Okay.
I have another question, Ms. Marsha. I wanted to go ahead and read the introduction to see if it's correct, or we could go ahead and change it. I'm going to start. College is a time where many people feel overloaded with stress and emotions. You will find yourself easily irritated.
Did you catch your audience's attention with that?
Well, I'm trying to go ahead and relate the topic to the audience, so.
Yeah, but yeah. You can do better than that. You can do better than that.
Okay.
Okay. So I would say right there, fine. I mean, you're relating it to the audience, but now, if you would say in that introduction, if you would say, one of the things that I really miss from not going to school is being able to go up the third floor and take a nap, right? And some of your audience is going to go, yeah, I remember doing that. So it's something, a little comical anecdote that many of you share. Now, some of you have never taken a nap on the third floor, but you've definitely seen people who have, and you know it was there in case you needed it. And so then you can say, like, I miss going to the third floor to take a nap. However, I'm very thankful that if we're going to have class somewhere, it's at home. So I can take a nap anytime I want. And you're like pointing to your bed, you know? So having that shared anecdote is going to get their attention better than just relating it to them because they're college students. If I relate something to someone and say, we're all in the same class, it's true, and I've related it to them, but it doesn't catch our attention. All right, so we do want to try harder to get attention. So go ahead with the next one. Work with the attention step. Where do you introduce the topic? I love the picture of the cat. Oh, he's so cute. He makes me want to nap. All right, the benefits of napping. What's the part where you introduce the topic in your
I believe that would be the
introduction
idea. We put the 3 major benefits of napping for a college.
That's your central idea. Where do you introduce the topic? Are we forgetting the 4 points of the introduction?
Getting the attention and interest of your audience, reveal the topic of your speech, establish your credibility and goodwill, preview the body of the speech.
Right. And previewing the body of the speech is the central idea. So you have the attention and you have the central idea, but you're missing these 2 points here. Okay.
Okay.
All right. This article looks very interesting. So which graph were you planning on using?
The one that says percentage of syllables recalled
Okay.
would indicate the information retained by the students after they got some sleep, and also another graph, well, the same graph indicating with in blue
Mm-hmm.
after remaining awake. So it's
Okay.
less deficient.
Which point, your main point is improving mood. What's the second one?
Concentration, and the third one increase
Increase
productivity.
productivity.
Which one does this graph go into?
I believe it will be for increased productivity.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking you were using it for mood. I'm like, nah, not for mood, but for productivity, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so no, I think this is a topic where you have lots of information, but this is it. Don't keep it only in one type of information. Don't keep it only in expert research. Don't keep it only in expert testimony, right? Use testimony from others, use examples, use visual aids as you are here, okay? Be sure to use a variety because some of the topics are just fun topics. Yours is a more serious topic, okay? Even though napping is fun, it's a more serious topic because it does have scientifically proven benefits. But we want to make sure that you don't just get trapped in the science of it, and you also involve other types of supports. Okay, all right. Any other questions? I'm going to check on this last group, and then I'm going to call you back into the main room.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? No?
Now,
All right.
one last question about the questionnaire. It will be so we can go ahead and relate once again with the audience and make them personal questions if they have slept and in the resting room, and if they have,
How often they nap, how long they nap for, why do they nap, when do they nap, how have they seen napping helps them? Okay, what's for them, what's the best time to nap? Meaning how long, right? And 10 minutes can be fine for some people. 20 minutes is supposedly the ideal. Some people, if they nap for an hour, they're perfectly fine. They're good afterwards. So you can ask them questions about their napping habits, if napping has helped them, if they see a difference after they nap, how long they nap. Those are the kind of questions you would ask. I don't want you worrying too much about a questionnaire for this topic because today you need to post a questionnaire for your other topic. So I would like you to focus on that. Now, if one of you like this topic for speech number 2, for example, Belen, you have a topic, you're set, you're ready, but you say, I think I like this topic better, right? If all 3 of you agree, one of you could have this topic. The only thing is that the work that was done is the work of all 3 of you, not just one of you. Okay, so some people might think it's a little unfair that one person can have the topic and the other 2 have to start from 0, but it's a possibility because this is a good topic, right? It has a lot of good information. You're learning how to support the information better. But questionnaire, I don't want you to worry about actually making a questionnaire for this topic right now because you have to post a questionnaire for informative number 2 today. So I prefer that you focus on that. All right?
Okay. One last question. I'm kind of lost. For the other work you're mentioning right now, we have to post it on the group of Facebook?
Yeah.
Just like we did right here?
Same as we did the last time for the questionnaire.
Thank you.
Okay. All righty. I'll call you back in just a few minutes here.
Thank you.
How are you doing here? You have the topic. What's your topic? Why do we remember all the things we forgot to do once we are in bed? All right. What's your specific purpose?
To inform my audience about the main reasons why we have better memory when we are in bed.
All right. You're being redundant, right? To inform my audience of the reasons why. The reasons why. It's one or the other, right? To inform my audience of the reasons is much better than just to say to inform my audience why. But we don't want to use them together because they both mean why, right? So to inform my audience of the reasons, again, we remember things better in bed.
Why we have better memory when we are in bed.
Better memory, no. There's a difference between here saying better memory and remembering things, right? If you say we have better memory in bed, it means you should study in bed, you should read in bed, because if you're in bed, you remember it better. But that's not what we're saying, right? We're saying that once you lay down to sleep, you remember everything you had forgotten during the day. You remember what you had to do. You remember who you had to call. You remember what mails you had to send out. But you do that once you're in bed, right? This topic itself is not a completely serious topic. All of these topics, none of them are completely serious. This is one of those things where you lay down to bed and all of a sudden you remember everything you had to do. So you say, okay, I'm finished with everything. I'm done. Turn everything off. I go lay down to bed. I go, I forgot to make the sandwiches for tomorrow. I forgot to call my sister. Oh, she's going to kill me. All right. That's what the topic is about. It's about why we have to lay down in order to remember what it is we had to do. What was your central idea?
We
It is
grow.
also related to memory, so I think that is
Yeah,
wrong.
what is it though? Yeah, what is it? What is it? I know it's probably related to the same idea as the specific purpose, but what's the central idea?
We wrote three of the reason we remember things when we are about to sleep are, and the first we wrote the reminder cues that makes us remember something by looking at something or listening a specific word.
All right. You don't want to start a central idea with the three reasons. We don't need a number in it in this case, all right? Now, the first part of your central idea is the topic that I gave you. What was the first part of your central idea again?
Three of the reason we remember things when we are about to sleep.
Okay, the reason we remember things when we're about to sleep. That's exactly the topic that I posted here on the chat for you. Okay, so that part's good. That part's good, exactly what you do. Because it's not about having a better memory in bed and being able to do things there, but it's about why we remember things when we're about to go to sleep. What were the reasons?
Yeah, the reminder cues that make us remember something by looking at something or listening a specific word.
Listening to a specific word?
Yeah.
Those are two reasons, right?
No, this is just one reason.
Oh, that's just one. Oh.
Yeah, we wrote it as one
No,
reason.
you have and. When you have and there, you
No,
make
we wrote
it two.
or listening.
Or listening. That
Yeah.
makes it two. And
Yeah.
or but are conjunctions. They make it two.
Okay.
Okay. So or listening. These are apparently two reasons. Now, listening to a specific word. Are you listening to a specific word when you sleep?
No.
You're usually not listening to anything.
It's
So
more than thinking of something.
more what? Thinking of something?
And when we are in bed, we see more things that we listen. So it's something more. It's something by looking at something,
Right.
rather than listening at something.
Exactly, exactly. So of the two that you have there, I would just stay with the first one and wipe the listening part out. Because unless we're listening to a song, to music, to something, right? But normally we don't have that noise when we're going to sleep. What's the next one?
Pull out charts related to a specific pointer to memories and how it impacts in a good or bad way in our brain.
I heard and in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, which means you have two.
two.
And you have two very long ones. What was the first thing you said?
Pull out charts related to a specific
Pull
pointer.
out shards?
Yeah.
What's that?
We were looking for information. It says that sometimes I don't know, you're about to sleep and you remember your old school, for example, your primary school, and then you start to remember things or maybe task. It's just an example.
Okay, so this is a technical term.
Yeah.
This is a technical term. Okay, all right. And what was the other one?
And how it impacts in our.
Okay, that's a how. That's a how. And what we're looking at is a why.
Yeah.
Right? So we can't have the two of them. We just want one.
Mm-hmm.
And the why is the first one. The how is the second, right? What's your other main point?
How both sides of the brain work better when we are slightly tired and got easily distracted.
Okay. All right. All right. I like the points that you have. Now, be careful. What kind of support do you have? How are you supporting the points? What did you find?
We were just about to do it. I had an idea.
You spent the whole time doing the specific purpose and the central idea.
Yeah.
All right.
We're doing the other thing, but I'm doing the first one, and my classmates are doing the
All right.
second and third.
Let me just talk to you because I'm gonna pull you back in the rooms here in a second. The activity itself was obviously central idea and specific purpose, but more than anything, learning how to support your main points, because in cases, Laura, for example, in your case, in your first speech, I felt that you were missing supporting information for your points, and that's why your speech was so short. So we want to avoid this happening in another speech, but not just giving one type of information, but rather giving different types of supporting information, right? We have examples, we have expert testimony, we have testimony from friends, families, and loved ones, we have anecdotes, we have statistics, we have all kinds of information that we can pull out. Now, this is a very scientific kind of topic. You know, what are the scientific reasons, the biological reasons that we remember these kind of things when we lay down for bed? But I want to make sure that you understand that when we have a topic like this is supposed to be a fun topic. So we don't want to base it all on scientific evidence, but rather we want to really involve our audience. I think everyone in your audience has had a moment where they lay down to go to sleep and they go, I forgot to put the coffee on. I forgot to do something. And so you can really draw on that. If you would give a questionnaire for this topic, you would ask them if they have had an experience where they laid down to go to sleep and suddenly they remembered something they had forgotten to do, or information they had forgotten, or a memory they had forgotten. And then you would have them describe it or give that information. So you would actually have from your audience the information on what kind of things they remembered when they went to sleep. So we want to make sure, first of all, that we support our points well. We get a lot of good information. We may not use it all because of time, but we have a lot of good information supporting our points. Secondly, how to organize that information. Make sure you look at chapter 11 very closely. Even though the homework is not due yet, look at chapter 11 on organizing your speech. And make sure that we're relating it when possible to our audience so that we're catching their attention and able to draw them into the speech with us. Okay? All right. We're not going to, I mean, they've been working on it for 2 days. So they're basically finishing up. Right now, we don't want to do any more on it because you have enough to do with questionnaire for your next speech, outline for your next speech, and then obviously your next speech. So I would prefer you spend the time now with this experience going back to what you're doing for your speech. All right? Okay, good. I'm going to call everyone back to the main room and we'll drop it off from there. Okay. Okay, are we all back? All right. What I saw with this activity, the purposes of this activity obviously was to practice stating a specific purpose and a central idea. But more than anything, the purpose was to have you support your points well. To support your points well with enough support that you can fill your time limit, but also with a variety of support. We don't just want to use one type of support throughout the whole speech, but rather we want to try and vary our support to make it more interesting for our audience. Okay? And a lot of you, I mean, you really took it and went with it. You made it your own. All of these speech topics started as humorous. One of the groups planned a speech on lessons you have learned from your pet. Another one on the male brain versus the female brain. Another one on fun house plants in your home. How to look smarter than you are. The meaning behind nursery rhymes. Things men shouldn't wear. And the advantages of napping for college students. So each of the topics was humoristic in itself. And what I really liked is some of you kept that humor, meaning that what men shouldn't wear, you really found some good examples, and you found expert testimony in people who work in fashion. You found testimony from friends and family about how people are dressing. You found lots of examples, especially men with sandals wearing socks. Okay, skinny jeans. We found medical testimony. Javier told us that there is a risk for men wearing skinny jeans of developing testicular cancer. Yeah, Alex, that was my reaction too, right? I did not know that. So it's not just about a fashion sense, but there's also a medical reason in there. Okay. The fun house plants, they right away you're going, fun house plants, what's going on? give you an example and you ran with it. You went with it and you found the fun house plants and the fun activities you can do with your house plants. And it's a good way to have house plants in your home there. The male brain versus the female brain. We've always said that men and women are two very different kinds of humans. Even though we're both part of the human race, we're still very different and think very differently. And this is what their speech brought up. So the idea that when you support your points, you're really supporting them with good supporting information and varied supporting information. This is what I want you to remember when you're supporting your next speech. You're not just going to use examples. You're not just going to use testimony. You're not just going to use one thing, but you're going to bring in several sources of support. And you're going to find that your speech is very rich. It's exactly what you wanted it to be. Okay? So don't worry about working with this speech anymore right now. If you would like to put up the outline on Facebook so we can take a look at it and give you feedback, do it, do it. But right now, you're going to concentrate on posting your questionnaire today. You're going to focus on creating your outline for your second informative, and of course, for researching and practicing your second informative. That's where I want your focus on. But stating a good, proper, coherent, specific purpose, a well-structured, coherent, central idea, and of course, supporting your speech well. Those of you who posted after I went to sleep last night, I have a doctor's appointment with my daughter right now that I'm running to. So I will take my phone with me, and she has to sit in the dark for 15 minutes. And that's when I can pull out my phone and start answering you. Don't think it's some kind of, it's acupuncture. Don't think it's, you're like, she has to sit in the dark. She goes to an acupuncturist. And so I sit there while she's sitting there with her needles in, forget that, with her needles in, and I am able to do things. So while I'm in there with her, I will send feedback. I hate giving feedback by phone because it's so much slower to answer, but there's not that many that are still missing feedback yet. So that you have the feedback this morning and you're able to fix anything you have to and create your questionnaire today. All right. Today you're posting your questionnaires. I ask that today, when you start seeing the questionnaires, start answering them. At the latest by tomorrow, if you could finish answering your questionnaires, that would be very helpful, so that your classmate has time to take the information that you give and use it as part of their speech. What I want you to do on Monday, remind me on Monday, what I want you to do when you look through your questionnaires that are answered, I want you to write down the names of the students who answered your questionnaires and give me the list of people who answered them. Because remember, answering the questionnaires is going to be part of your grade also, if you answered them or not. Okay? If you do not post a questionnaire, you do not present. Is that clear for everyone? We need all of the activities that come up to speaking before you speak, so that when you speak, you're at least basing it on something that you have there with you. Okay? Questions?
I have a question related to the homework of the chapter 10. Do we have to write like an introduction of each of the topics?
Yes. Is that what the instructions say? I don't have it in front of me. That's why I'm asking. Oh, here it is.
Oh, it says, here are 6 speech topics. Explain how you might relate each to your classmates in the introduction of a speech.
Right. So you're not writing the whole introduction. You're saying how you would relate it to your audience. For example, the first one is Social Security. The first one is Social Security. How would you relate that? How would you relate that to your audience? You have an audience full of college students. You have an audience full of college students. How many of you have Social Security? How many of you use Social Security? How many of you rely on Social Security? Now in Mexico, Social Security is two things. Social Security is a pension and Social Security is a medical insurance. All right. In the United States, Social Security is only, it was a pension. Now it's not a pension. Now we have the 401k. So here in Mexico, you have a different Social Security than we would have in the United States. That's okay. Your audience is from Mexico. Hold on, can we mute a microphone here? Yeah, can you mute your microphone just for a second? Thanks. All right. So your audience is from Mexico. When we talk about Social Security, we're talking about Social Security from Mexico, because really Social Security from the United States has nothing to do with you. Okay, so go ahead and think about that. Now, you use Social Security more than anything right now for medical benefits. Right? Maybe you go to the doctors there. Maybe you get your medicine from there. Do you use Social Security for pension? Not yet. Do your parents maybe use Social Security for pension, or your grandparents? So think about your audience, how they use Social Security, how they know Social Security, and you would take those and think how you will relate that to your audience. All of you know what Social Security is. That's the good thing, right? I know what Social Security is. Honestly, I don't use it much. I have it, I don't use it because I use the university hospital. Okay, but I know what it is. How would you relate it to your audience who knows but doesn't use it? How would you relate it to your audience who uses it? Obviously, through a questionnaire, you would find out how many of your audience actually uses it and what they use it for. But we're not using a questionnaire right now. So really, it's taking each of those topics and thinking about how you would relate it to the audience. And then what you're going to write is what you would say in the speech to relate it to your audience. Not the whole introduction, because the introduction is more than that. You could do it in the attention step, where you use an attention step that relates Social Security to your audience. You can do it in the topic, where you explain or define or you give an idea of what Social Security is or relate it to an experience that they had so they understand it, right? You can do it in the credibility and goodwill, relating it to your audience. You can't do it in a central idea. That's set, right? So you can either do it in the intention, the topic, or the credibility and goodwill. But that's the only part. That's the only part of the introduction that we need in this exercise, not the whole introduction. Okay? Miguel, did I answer your question?
Well, I got confused again.
Again? All right.
Yeah.
What's the next topic? What's the next topic?
It's the laughter.
All right. Laughter. How would you relate that to your audience? I don't want us to say too much here because I'm afraid everybody will kind of get the same idea then, right? But how would you relate laughter to your audience? Personally, I would tell a joke. I would tell a joke and make my audience laugh. And guess what? I've related it to my audience. I'm not going to ask them if they know what laughter is. That's stupid. They know what laughter is. I'm not gonna, maybe I could ask them to remember, have them do a visualization exercise and have them remember the last time they laughed really hard. The last time they laughed so hard that their mouth hurt, that their stomach hurt, that they were crying, that they couldn't stop laughing, right? I'm relating it to you because now you're going back and you're remembering that experience and saying, oh, that was so fantastic. Yes. So we related it to them without saying, do you know what laughter is? But rather I'm asking them to recall a memory where they laughed so hard they couldn't control themselves. Do any of you snort when you laugh? No, I'm a snorter when I laugh. You'll hear it some of these times. So laughing, make the audience laugh. Have them remember something where they laughed hard. That's relating it to them. All right. Now you
Teacher,
can't. Now you can't use those. Those are mine. You can't use those. This is the problem. I didn't want you to get too many of them. But you want to relate that topic, not finding out necessarily what they know about it, but relating the experience of it to them. Yeah, question, Marijos.
yeah, I was wondering if we can adapt the topic to what we want to express. Like, for example, what if we wanted to say that laughter is healthy or something like that?
That's getting into your topic. What you want to do right now is get your audience involved in your
Okay,
topic.
okay.
In your topic. If my audience were Coke, right? Coke Zero, Coke Light, whatever Coke, right? I would say, oh my gosh, yesterday with my meal, I was drinking the best poison I have ever drank in my life. It was cold, perfect temperature. I was so thirsty, the sweet, sugary feeling. I know it's destroying my liver. I know it's destroying my kidneys. I know, but that was the best poison I ever. Were you drinking poison yesterday? Did you drink poison yesterday? And you're going, I don't drink poison. I don't. Yeah, look at it. I mean, you can get it right here in the store. And you're going, oh yeah, I drank it. So if I were doing a speech trying to persuade you to stop drinking Coke, I might do it that way, relating it to you in that you have had experiences. Do you like Coke? Yes. Do you love a nice cold Coke? Yes. Do you drink Coke after you've had a heavy meal and you say, oh, I have to get this air out. Let me drink a Coke for it. Okay. I'm relating it to you because you drink it with meals. You think that a cold Coke is the greatest thing in the world. It's something that you enjoy and it's killing you too. Okay. So it's not just about like saying, oh, you know Coke, I know Coke, we all know Coke. But rather that experience, I'm drinking Coke. I know you've drank Coke. I know you like Coke. I know a cold Coke is the greatest thing in the world after a good meal, right? Besides a good cigarette. Oops, wait, I'm sorry, I'm not instigating here smoking. A cold Coke is the greatest thing in the world. You know that. That's how I would relate it to the audience. So you're going to actually write what you would say in your speech. And with this, I could get the audience's attention. Maybe I get the audience's attention a different way, but I involve this relation in the topic or in the goodwill. All right.
Yes.
I forgot what your question was. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, you
Okay.
answered.
Okay,
I
good.
was wondering if we could adapt the topic because I was thinking like, what if laughter is good for your health or
Oh, sure.
I
I
don't know.
mean, yeah, even if laughter is good for your health, right? Laughter being good for your health, but still make your audience laugh. Make them remember a time when they laughed. Because if you're saying laughter is good for your health, at one point you would like them to laugh because it's good for them. Okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can use this kind of relationship for many different topics. It really doesn't matter the topic. If the topic is laughter, make them laugh. Do something with laughter with them. Tell a good joke. Remind them of a funny situation that happened in class. Remember the time Marcia fell and she and everyone's going, yeah, I remember that. Okay. All right. So what you're going to write in Blackboard is actually what you would say in the introduction. If I were doing the homework about this, I would write, yesterday I had a great meal, and I followed it with some poison. It was cold, it was fresh, it was bubbly. I know I'm killing myself, but I love drinking that poison. That's exactly what I would write on the assignment in Blackboard, because it's exactly what I would say to relate the topic to my audience. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can also use questions to relate it.
You can, but don't overuse them. Don't overuse them. Right? Once we start using questions, we start using questions for everything. This looks good, doesn't it? And if you use a question, don't use a tag question. If I would say, a nice cold Coke is the greatest thing in the world, I'm going to stop it there. I'm not going to say, don't you think? Because that's creepy. That's weird. And I'm asking you to agree with me when what I'm doing is giving you my opinion on that. Okay? So yes, you can use questions. Don't use tag questions. But don't overuse questions either. All right? Any others? All right. Remember, I'm available on Facebook over the weekend as you're working on your topic, working on your questionnaire and that. If you have any questions, let me know. All right. And in a little bit, I'll get to the ones that sent me their information later.
Teacher,
Right.
can I talk to you at the end of the class?
No, because like I said, I've already gone over time and I have to get my daughter to the doctor this morning.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay,
No,
teacher.
that's okay. But if you have a question that you can put on Facebook, is it about your topic?
Yes.
Okay, put it up on Facebook, please. And right now, when I'm there with her, I'll try and answer it. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
All right. All right. Great. Okay. Have a great weekend, everyone. Enjoy.
You too. Bye.
See ya. Bye bye.
See ya,
Bye,
teacher.
teacher.
Have a
Bye.
nice
Have a good
day.
one.